Good morning! Yay! We getting ready to go back to the W-2. Yay! Yeah. The food, first of all, it was real good because you've been up all night drinking. And then if you had that one waitress, a little bit trashy looking with that bad cough, probably needed her roots touched up. Yeah, your food was probably going to be real good. Hey, y'all. It has been a while. Ooh. Woo. Pick my lung up and try it again.
These are dream moves. This is someone else. I'm not myself. No.
Let me tell you something. When you want to talk about a birthday that almost didn't happen, that would be this one. For whatever reason, last night actually, let's keep it a buck, it was after 6. I decide I'm gonna open my district email, take a closer look. Like I would say maybe last week, I kind of skimmed it real quick. I looked at it with my vacation eye. I'm gonna say that. That's what I did. Let me grab my tea, excuse me. So last week, I'm kind of skimming over my emails again with my vacation eye, and I see something that says RSVP to our convocation. We've never had to RSVP to the convocation, but that's kind of weird. On the RSVP, I noticed the date. Okay, cool. School for years and decades and forever has always started, it's kicked off with convocation. You can voluntarily go in, and many of us do. I swear, I just be wanting to really question people who swear up and down teachers don't work hard, because I don't know too many jobs where people literally volunteer and go work full days, multiple days for absolute no pay. Then when you do get paid, it's not commensurate. But anyway, I remember that on Steve Urkel. Anyway, why am I keeping my water? I didn't use it, girl. What's that? I'm telling you, I'm still working on my habit of putting things away, not simply putting them down. You know what? I have not had collagen in I don't even know how long. See how getting back into work gets me back into my habits? I haven't had collagen all summer long. It's crazy. I've been gaining weight. How many of these am I supposed to do? I think it's 2. It could be 4. Why does 4 come to mind? I'm sticking with 2 for now. Anywho, I haven't been meal prepping. I've just been eating any old thing. Oh, you got wings? I'll take that. You got a burger. A burger, y'all. I had a burger last week, and prior to that, I haven't had a burger in months. Not summer, not spring. Maybe I had a burger in winter. I don't know. And that could have been winter of 24. Who knows? But yeah, I'm just all out of whack. And the weight shows it. When I was doing my thrifting shopping, man, that mixed up so quickly. I wasn't sure it did. But when I was editing my thrifting video, I looked and I was like, who put that extra weight on my, I don't know who put that weight on my back. But I got a package last night. I was so busy talking on the phone. I was so busy talking on the phone with some friends that I didn't open this package. So I might as well open it with y'all. And I tell you what, when I got ready to lift the package off my pouch, I had to put my back into it. I had to bend with my knees. I was not expecting it to be so heavy. In other words, I might have been a little ambitious. Just a little bit. Now I need to wipe this back down. But oh baby, fragile. So are my nerves right now. I'm gonna get ready to go to work. Why is it fragile? Oh, makes a little, oh, I thought that was one that was broken. Is it? I know you're lying. Oh! And it's broken. Dang, I gotta return that already. That's why I said fragile. Ain't that a blip? But I finally got my seasoning jars, and I'm mad about it. I don't care if it is just one that's broken, because I bet the others are compromised. But anyway, I got these little jars, and I gotta be careful how I handle it because there's broken glass in here. This gets returned. I got it from Amazon using my gift card. I was really proud. But it has all kinds of, what is it? Baharat seasoning. Never even heard of it. See, when I see stuff like that, I don't think, ooh, this is useless. I think, ooh, I gotta learn what you cook with that. I wonder, dang, gummit. All right, so we're gonna gingerly put this down and pick this up. Why did they pack both of these in the same package? And wait, how about this one looks all opened up already? This is some boo. We don't like that. I like to open my stuff fresh. And then y'all resealed this part. Maybe it just came poorly packaged. That, see, okay, y'all was kicking that box around, not knowing it had glass because the fragile is on the inside. Why didn't they mark it fragile on the outer package? That would have given the handler a better clue. Because I halfway don't blame them. This stuff's heavy. You don't know what's in there. You don't know it's fragile. That's got to get returned. But y'all, I was walking the other day and I saw a woman who had on a vest. And at first I thought it was one of those hydrating vests that I've seen. But I looked and I didn't see where the water goes. Speaking of seeing where it goes, no, it turns out it was a weighted vest. And when I saw it, she caught me looking at it. And she was like, this is a weighted vest. I thought, oh, okay. And I told her I thought it was a hydrating vest, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, come here, touch it, feel it. And I did. It felt like a piece of cloth or whatever you want to call it. Oh, baby. I think she said hers was 15 pounds. Baby, that lady, I was about to say she was at least 65-ish. I don't know. She was of a different complexion. And the one thing I have learned that, okay, two things. So the one thing I've learned is I am not very good. I feel like I need to wash my hands just because I touched that broken glass stuff. But I feel like I am not very good at judging the age of people from another race. I really am not. I'm black, and a lot of times I can't judge a black woman's age. They look a lot younger than me. But I will not say I think they look younger typically. I'm just going to leave it at that. So anyway, she looked about 65, might not have been. Second part, because there was two things I was going to say. Did y'all see that one challenge where they were talking about this is what 50 looks like, this is what 55 looks like, this is what, you know. Some of the people should have said that. It was giving warning. Yes, that's what it was giving. You go on and keep your mouth shut. Yeah, I might have been just a little ambitious. I feel the weight of this already. What does this do? I'm confusion. I see this and that. Uh-oh. Let me find out that package was open because it don't snap. There you go, never mind. Okay, so, I guess this little flap is so that this doesn't bug me. Is there a place to tuck it? Ooh, look at y'all. Y'all thought of some stuff. I guess that's what that's for. I don't know. Is there another flap on the bottom? There is. Couldn't see down there. Oh my goodness. How about I'm acting like I really don't know how to get ready for work? I get up. I gotta put on my shirt. Luckily my closet area is right across from the bathroom where I have a mirror. And I put my shirt on and look up. Girl, my foot bags are just sticking out. I had not even put on a bra. How do you forget to, it was too early. That's what it was, too early for that. Because when I do my walking, I set up my stuff. Because I walk, before the break of dawn, for real. And I set up my stuff at night so that I'm ready. Yeah, baby, I feel this vest. And I haven't even started. My theory is, as I'm reaching and pulling and packing and unpacking and getting my room together, this extra weight should do something for me. I feel like it's touching me in my shoulder blades that I don't like so much, or maybe I'm just not used to it. That's the weights itself, but It's a 12-pounder. I'm gonna stick it out with this all day. We're gonna see how this does. It's kind of weird though. It feels, yeah, and I don't like the way it's rubbing against my shoulder blades for sure. I wish if I had a druther, it would be that they have some more padding or something back there. Yeah, it's definitely a weight that's rubbing me. Maybe I'll get used to that. I don't know. But I feel like, somebody's opposite. I think those things weigh. One cop told me that by the time they're all said and done, they're weighed down an additional 40 pounds or so. Oh, that's good. I did that just right. But yeah, here we go. We getting ready for the W2. I'm so shocked because some people, like in Georgia, the kids have already gone to school. When did the teachers go back? This is my first day now. Golly. I remember when everybody just started, at least everybody in the Midwest region, the day after Labor Day. You were off that Monday and then the kids came on Tuesday. As for the teachers, we went back the last week of August for whatever additional training and prep and all that stuff. Now and I get it, like in this area, when all of the kids get out on the same day, crime kind of goes up. So the districts have, scattered some of their start and end times to accommodate that. Same thing happens for spring breaks and things like that when they can do it because all kids out at one time spikes up issues. We're gonna call it that. We call them issues. So now we've got this going on. Girl, speaking of last night, I had broken off one nail. In fact, I did that picking up that package from the porch because again, I wasn't ready. Hadn't bit with my knees yet. So I've read the email and I know I'm going back to work. I went ahead and popped off all the nails and trimmed my own nails. I guess I'll be putting on more nails later. But also when I'm packing, unpacking, and moving my room around, I don't like nails because I just don't. They might either pop off or, they hurt a little bit to me. Like when you touch something too hard, yeah. Oh, I need to pack a mask because that dust, whatever that dust is that settles over the summer, tears me up. I go in there and I like to do a real wipe down. A lot of my kids have allergies and stuff, and if it bothers me and I don't have allergies, I can't even imagine. I cannot imagine. And I tell you what, I be wiping with some disinfectant wipes. Don't tell nobody, because that's against the rule. Speaking of which, if I got any of my parents watching, I can't ask y'all to give me any disinfectant wipes, because again, those are against the rules. I can't ask y'all for that now, but if you happen to have some. Anyway, let me sip my tea, gather up whatever I need to gather up. Like I haven't even wrapped my mind around going yet. Hopefully most of the stuff I need is there. Yeah, it should be. And we'll figure this day out together, child, because to say I'm not ready, understatement. Okay, so I'm feeling like I need to do a part 2 on opening up my seasonings. Did I say hello? I don't even think I did. Hello, y'all. Just rude. But anyway, by now I should have a couple, 2-3 clips of me talking to y'all. Lord knows I have tried and failed to start this vlog a time or 2 or 3. And you know what? They didn't put fragile on the box again. They play too much. Oh, see, y'all keep coming up with the fragile on the inside. Amazon, Jeffy boy, because you know me and Jeff Bezos be like this, okay? But I'm just saying, if y'all gonna put fragile on the label at all, if you got it, slap fragile on the outside box. Because if this is messed up, I'm gonna do it just like I do my eggs. I'm gonna check each and every one of them because eggs is high. This wasn't free. And then if any are broken, they can go into the one I'm returning. And I mean that. If y'all ever go to the store and you wondering, dang, how I get a cart with 3-4 broken eggs? Because I took the ones that was broke out of the one I wanted, and Yep, I did. I'm sorry, I forgot to code switch. I haven't been recording in so long. I'm gonna get my code switch on. It would be because I've taken the one out of the carton that I had and exchanged it for those that were broken. Yes, I did. There we go, that sounds better. But I'll tell you what, earlier today, I've already had a pretty productive morning. Just so you know, this is Sunday morning. Okay, all of these are not broken, go figure. I don't know what this is. I really don't. I don't. Maybe it's to push through to here. I ain't got that part figured out. But you know what? Let me grab my seasonings from my container and we'll fill these containers with those seasonings whilst we talk about, I don't even know what we're gonna talk about. I feel like I am so out of practice. I really do. Ooh, some of these feel light. So we just grab it, stick it, and move it. Get my disinfectant on. We running kind of low on this. Oh my. So one thing I really do not like about my style of straightening, organizing, cleaning, whatever you want to call it, is I feel like I always have to make a big mess before I really get to what I'm trying to get to. Give me a second, I want to wash this too. And I wish I didn't have to do it that way. Hold up, why are these white? Oh, okay, because I was gonna say in the other package they were black. Matter of fact, huh? It was on, y'all play too much. Oh, okay, so some are round, some are rectangular. Okay, I see, I got choice. I got some choices. I don't know which one I like more now. Do I like it square or round? I think I like it square, just because these are, or I don't know my shapes. Bless my heart, I'm teaching American Cheerer. I like it rectangular because these are rectangular. Y'all know what? I'm gonna have to come back to you because I haven't washed any of these and I need to do it. They're probably perfectly clean, sanitized, all of that stuff, but I happen to know I got bleach in this water, so excuse me and let me try again. Okay, y'all, so it's a little bit later. I've got some things washed, cleared up, and ready to roll. Hopefully, I don't have to keep interrupting myself to say I need to do this, that, another, and a fourth. We shall see. So I'm just whipping out these. I did decide to go with the rectangular black labels. I just like them better. Don't everything look better if it's black? This is AJ WAIN seasoning. Is it called a Dwayne? Why does that make me think of Whitley Gilbert? Dwayne? A Dwayne seed. Never heard of that. Don't have it. If I'm mispronouncing it, that's all right. Because what I'm not finna do on all these seasons, I ain't finna use my good public school education to announce all these words. I'm not doing that. Part of me wants to be really anal. Okay. And line it up about the same height and all that, but it is not that very serious. And one thing I will say about getting older is you stop taking less serious things so seriously. That you really do. That's pretty good. I can't even remember where I left off, but I have missed y'all tremendously. I know I was talking about that because that's just the God's honest truth. And some of y'all have reached out to me via email. Some of you have reached out to me older videos and checked on me, and that just genuinely warmed my heart. Because you just in my mind, I was thinking, well, I'm out of sight, out of mind. These people have other lives. Where is the apple pie? I know I have it because I took it out the cabinet. I do remember that. But anyway, they have other lives and stuff to do. Some of y'all are not yet empty nesters. That's another cool thing. My demographic, according to YouTube, shows all kinds of ages. And I love that. So some of y'all have small kids. Those are usually the people that send me emails and ask me, can you talk about various subjects and things like that? And a lot of times, I'm not sure that I can do those subjects justice. I will say this though, even if I don't discuss the subjects that you all ask me about in emails, I at least respond back to those emails. But anyway, I may not address the annatto powder. Promise you I've never heard of that. Asafoetida ground, baharat seasoning, baking powder, bam. Sweet basil. I think all I have is just regular good old-fashioned basil leaves. Yeah. So we're just gonna put that on there. They even got something called Thai basil. I wonder what the difference is. I promise you, as I'm looking at these seasonings, I just keep thinking, I need to cook more stuff. Okay, so I still picked up sweet basil, and then my eye caught it, and I see that there's something called basil leaves. Let me switch over, because that's what I actually have, is basil leaves. Now, if I'm gonna keep having excess jars and all of that, to the point that I still got a whole bunch of these old jars, then I might be losing the point of me even bothering. Lord of mercy. Oops, wrong container, child. This one. Yeah, because I got excess here, and I probably got more than one thing of basil leaves. Excess adobo. Nobody told me about that big container, and I don't even know what it tastes like, no how. I think they didn't have a small one, maybe that's why. I'm giving myself leeway. Still looking alphabetical. I might need 2 of these. I don't think I knew that. I do not think I knew I had so many different things. Or maybe I have multiples of the same thing. I don't even have bay leaves, but I know that I cook with bay leaves. So, see, here's another basil. Yep, I'm getting on my nerve with this. Not just one other basil, but what am I see? A third thing of basil leaves. I really do use basil. But do I use it this much, or did I not know I had this minty? I didn't know I had this minty. Kimberly. But anywho, what was I saying? But anyway, I was talking about I have missed y'all. I got sick. That's what happened. In fact, not only did I get sick, but I was like, I'm a G. I'm gonna push through. I ain't all that sick. Let me just go ahead and try to record anyway. Hey y'all, it has been a while. Ooh. Woo. Pick my lung up and try it again. Hey y'all, it's been a while since the last time we talked. But I wish I could say a whole lot has been going on. Not a lot. Ooh, I don't like the color of this one. Dang it, is this gonna be another juicy melon? That's weird. It's surprisingly good. Okay. Not bad. Don't judge a book by its color. A book by its cover. A melon by its color. There we go. Anywho, it's been a little while since we talked. School has started everywhere. I've gotten sick already. I tend to get sick every year, for anyone who doesn't know, and I feel like it's because, usually it's because the dust hasn't had a chance to settle. This year I actually changed rooms, and I have a lot of burlap around my room, and I feel like maybe that held dust. So when I was moving about my room and moving things around my room, I was wearing my mask and my weighted vest, by the way, hey. And I felt a difference with that vest. But anyway, while I was doing all of that, I had the vest on, I had a mask on, but I think after moving the burlap around, I didn't give that enough time to settle. And so by not doing that, that burlap dust and stuff was still in the air, and it got me so sick. Oh, I was down bad. But I was only down for like 3 days or so. That's how I know it wasn't a cold. But at first, when you first get sick like that, you're not sure. You don't know if it's a cold. So I'm giving all my kids the stank eye. Especially the ones who just do not, for nothing in the world, cover their mouth when they're coughing. So I had to go out to the car, talk to a couple of parents, just on the, hey, how you doing, just to let you know Susie is doing well in school, because some of their phone numbers don't work. Y'all, please update your schools, because you just never know. It could be any kind of emergency. But anyway, while I was out there, little girl brought up the subject, which was funny, because earlier in the day I had been talking to her and I said, honey, you gotta cover your mouth. I know your mom teaches you that, but you cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. And she said, nuh-uh, my mama didn't say that. Huh, okay, well, I'll go out to the car just to say, hi, introduce myself to the parent, or reintroduce myself, because some of them met me on Meet the Teacher Night. And the little girl said, Mama, you didn't tell me to cover my mouth when I cough or sneeze, did you? I was like, oh, okay, that's weird. I guess really her mother didn't, because why else would she bring it up? Girl, the mother said, no, I really haven't taught her that, because, it's pretty much just us in the house. So, if she gets sick, I'm going to get sick anyway. And I thought, okay, once again, I'm confronted with the knowledge that people really think they raise their kids for their house, and you don't. In my humble opinion, you raise your kid for society. You don't raise your kid for your house. Some of what I've been up to when I was away from y'all, first of all, I actually was thinking about y'all. I wondered about y'all. I started to go through some of my old comments just to say, hey, how y'all doing? And, talk to some of the people I know I typically see on the regular. I was like, stalker much? Let's not do that, Kimberly. But I hope y'all have been doing well. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that I'm taking aspirin, because that kind of coughing gives me a headache. Not to mention, I sound like somebody's Waffle House waitress. No offense to anyone who might work there. But y'all know what it is. Go to the Waffle House real late at night, after a night of imbibing. And you have that one waitress. I feel like the food didn't even taste as good. I hope she wasn't putting that cough in my food to make it taste more gooder. But the food, first of all, looks real good because you've been up all night drinking. And then if you had that one waitress, a little bit trashy looking with that bad cough, probably needed her roots touched up. Yeah, your food was probably gonna be real good. I cut my hair.
And let me tell you how this got started. I was trimming my hair, which I did a pretty good job of that. It's even enough. And then I did a move like this, and I thought, I think that's where I want my hair to be. I think that's the length that I want. I don't want to go down to a straight up pixie, because that's a lot of maintenance to me. I mean, I know a lot of people with pixie say it's not, it's pretty carefree, but it's a lot for me. And y'all know I do a roller set in a heartbeat, and with my hair shorter, that's going to be a really quick air dry. But that being said, I think I'm going to cut it to here, yeah, to where I showed you when I did the swipe. So let's do that. I should probably get a glass of wine. I make some of my best decisions with a glass of wine. Okay, they're not my best decisions, but I feel best about the decisions if I've been drinking wine. But let's start right about here. And I want it to be pretty blunt, so that when I do my, I think I might even want it shorter than that. I don't know, we'll see. We'll start with this, because you can always go back, right? So I think that's a pretty blunt cut. Looking like a troll right now. Don't troll the troll.
My daughter was like, you were like one snip away from a pixie. I guess, I don't know. But so I was going through my hair and I was getting ready to color it. And not even permanently color, because here's my dilemma. And I wonder if any of y'all have it too. Take another bite of some melon. It's really good. But my dilemma is this. So when I use rinses on my hair, it makes my hair, it does something to the bottom of my hair for sure. Because after I use a rinse, I always have to go back in, put like a protein treatment in it, sit under the dryer, just to kind of get my hair back together again. But it's a rinse. So by doing that, and then doing the conditioning and then having to rinse that out well, I also rinse out some of the color. So the rinse isn't even as effective. You know what I mean? On the other hand, when I permanently color my hair, it's not as bad at all. The texture is better than a rinse. And you would think in my mind, rinsing my hair is less harmful than color treating my hair or something, but my hair does not respond that way. And I thought, you know what? Instead of growing my gray, like usually what people do is as their hair grows, they just keep trimming it or whatever until the gray just grows in, right? But you end up with gray hair this much, gray hair that much, gray hair, and it just gets longer until it all grows out. And I just don't care for that look for me personally. So I was like, you know, rather than, grow the color out or cut the color out, I'm gonna just grow the gray out. I'm gonna cut off the color, most of the color now, and take that route. So that's what I decided. And it doesn't even look like a lot, but I went to the grocery store. Girl, wound up seeing a guy, seemed like a nice enough fellow, asked for some help on, it was ugly fruit, in fact. He didn't ask for help, I'm sorry, he asked my opinion on ugly fruit. And he was like, have you ever had it? What does it look like on the inside? Is it called, no, it's not called ugly fruit. Is it passion fruit? Passion fruit. Dragon fruit. One of those fruits. I think it was dragon fruit. Woo! Bad as I look and feel, it shouldn't have been asking me nothing. But anyway, he asked me, I'm pretty sure, about that dragon fruit. It's red on the outside, kind of has, it looks like, kind of looks pineapple-ish with the layers. But anyway, I said, if I'm not mistaken, it's white. It has little black seeds or whatever on the inside. In my mind, I was kind of like, that's a odd question, but I answered it quickly, picked my grapes, which were right by it, and then I just kept it moving. How about later, I see this same man in a different aisle with his wife. I was like, why didn't you just ask your wife? And then I didn't even register the question on my face or anything. I just kept it moving. But then as I'm walking by, he kind of looked like, oh, well, I guess you got me. Just some kind of doofus. I don't even know what that look was. But it immediately disgusted me, because if I didn't think the worst of you yet, you giving me that guilty look made me do so. I just thought you were a doofus asking me a doofus question. Sometimes people just can't help but say stuff and they're not flirting at all. Hey, how about that weather? How about whatever? But the way he kind of did that, you got me. That's when I realized, what a tacky thing to do. I don't think I knew men were still doing stuff like that. Y'all ain't been caught enough? Embarrassed enough? Anyway, I think I'm aggravating myself or my throat and stuff by talking so much, so I'm just gonna get quiet, and all I'm doing is prepping some fruits and things for my lunch tomorrow. And I just wanted to pop in and say hi because it has been so long. Oh, some of these grapes are kind of soft. I didn't go through and fill as many up. I don't like to be that weirdo, filling them all and then putting them back. But as high as food is, it's gonna be that weirdo. I just like my grapes to have a good snap. But anyway, I said I was gonna shut up, give my throat and all that a rest because I really haven't been talking much the last 48 hours. Spent my weekend being sick. Ain't that a blip? After working hard with America's cheering, I get off for the weekend and here I go getting sick. But anyway, we shall talk some more soon. Everything looked like what I'm looking for. I can't find none of what I want. But I tried to push through it. That didn't even go well. It really didn't. I like this mesquite seasoning, especially for hamburgers and stuff. It smells good. Makes me wish I could grill. I can't grill. Well, okay, let me take that back. I have done some grilling, So my ex used to just love to grill, but he would grill all of the time. Finally, one that fit completely, yay. And I just never even tried it. Why should I fire up a grill? You know, this is my happily ever after. And he knows how to grill. Let's just talk about what's been going on while I'm laid up sick. So I'm sick, but I'm still scrolling, still getting on the internet. But anyway, I ended up seeing a lovely lady, highly intelligent. I think she's an attorney, and I say highly intelligent because, again, I'm sick, so I got time to go down the rabbit hole, and I do. Ooh, I forgot I was dealing with Tony's. So I go down the rabbit hole, and I'm looking at some of her other videos, and from all that I could see, y'all, it seemed like this woman was being dragged for having the temerity, the audacity, the nerve to feel good about herself. And not only that, but I thought she had beautiful eyes, a wonderful smile. Did she have a broad nose? I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Yeah, she had a broad nose, and that did not make her unattractive. I honestly did not see the unattractive that people were saying she was. I didn't see it. If I did, I would be honest and I'd say, oh, she's lovable. Oh, she's a person. You just, really, the Southern thing that we typically say is, bless her heart. We leave it at that. I did not see that. I did not see an ugly woman. I saw a woman with very pretty eyes, enchanting, a bright smile, because again, I'm watching her videos, I'm listening to her as she talks, highly intelligent, a wonderful soul. Like that even just came through on the video. So I was really surprised at the backlash that woman received. I've heard of cardamom. I've never cooked with it, but I have heard of it. So I did see that. Oh, I'll tell you what else I saw. I saw the Uber driver, but the Uber driver crashes out on a woman for having the temerity to say that she's happy to be single. And I think I'm one of those people, this is the part where I feel like maybe I'm a little dense, because I don't understand why single women get mad at married women for being proud to say my me, my man, my me, and my husband, all of that. What is the harm in that? Like, that, I just don't see the problem. But I also don't know why married women get upset with single women for choosing to be single and child-free. Like this, it's some good old-fashioned stuff. Y'all need to rub it in real good called mind your business. Like, there are just so many ways for people to be happy. Let people find their own happiness in their own way. We're gonna skip a spot for my celery flakes and put that in there. But yeah, he totally crashed out, acted a whole fool. I hope he gets all the consequences that he deserves, starting, but certainly not limited to, being fired. Here's that apple pie seasoning. Now, why I had it over there, I really don't know. I don't know why I had it there at all. But let's put that in the container. Here it is. But I saw that, and then here's something that really is important, and I called my daughter about it. Y'all see I use that a lot. Sometimes I even use it on things like candied yams, but I need to buy a new one. So let's remember that. But I was watching some information on menopause, and there were a couple of things I didn't know. One, I didn't know that there was this big shame about menopause. I thought it was just a widely accepted fact. I did not know it had a whole shame to it. Like, a couple of people have asked me, not just in my YouTube life, but in my regular life, they've asked me about my menopause syndrome. And I'm like, I really haven't had them. If I had them, I'd certainly tell you. Or if I have them, I should say it in the present tense, but if I have them, it's hard for me to recognize it, because I think one of the biggest things people talk about is hot flashes, right? Well, all my life I've had trouble regulating my body temperature. My fingers, my feet, my nose, and my butt have always been very cold. And I can be in a room where most people feel quite regular, and I am freezing cold, or I could be hot. And that's been the case probably since my teenage years. Okay, that's pretty full, but I still have another one because for some reason I bought two. Where's that white thing that they gave me? Because now I think I know the purpose of it. Maybe it's to grind up. Like this had a couple two chunks in it. So we're just gonna grind that up. I'm just making up uses. But yeah, I've never been able to intelligently answer the menopause questions more so until now. Also, probably since, well, definitely since being a mother. Yeah, well, when I was a teenager, okay, so when I was a teenager, I could go to sleep. Listen, there were times in my teenage years where I didn't go to sleep for 48, 36 hours. You know, like I was just on go mode. And I'm studying, and I'm taking a test, and I gotta go roller skating, and I gotta, you know what I mean? So I literally wouldn't go to sleep for 36, you know, whatever, close to 48 hours, something like that. And then when I'd go to sleep, I'd crash. And I could crash and sleep 12, 16 hours. So like straight. If I went to the restroom, I don't even remember doing it. So that would happen. And then once I became a mother, I don't remember sleeping 8 consecutive hours, like how people just get 8 hours of sleep. I don't remember that since my 20s. All of that crashing, it didn't matter. If I stayed up late, if my baby was up and I was up, and oh, I might as well clean, and and now I know I'm really gonna sleep because, you know, her dad's got her, and no, I still couldn't get 8 hours of sleep. So since becoming a mother, I've never been able to sleep for that long. So as people talk about cilantro leaves, honey, I got that by the pound. Chinese 5-spice, never heard of it. Chili seasoning usually comes in packages, so we're not gonna bother with that. I do have some chipotle powder, that I do have, but is it called chipotle powder or chipotle something? I'm just gonna know it's chipotle something. I didn't like this seasoning. That's called Nashville hot chicken seasoning. Oopsie. I didn't like that, so we're gonna throw it away right now. I don't even know why I was holding on to it. But a lack of sleep is also known to be a menopausal problem. But having that lack of sleep element, it means that as you're doing all of the other many healthy things you can do for your body, because you're still not sleeping, you're not reaping the benefits for real, that you should from all of the other things. So, you know, there's hormone replacement therapy, there's weightlifting and all that other stuff that they talk about. But if you're still not sleeping well, according to what the research is that I was reading, and I still encourage you to do your own research, much of the other benefits that you're doing still are not maximizing within your body. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I need to see about getting more sleep. So I'm going to work on that. I'm also going to work on hormone replacement therapy because I'm able to deal with being hot and cold. Because again, I've been dealing with it all my life. So I don't think I fully recognize that, hey, this could be better. This should be better. So now that I realize that, and I've heard this, you know, read this research, heard the things, because baby, I was down the rabbit hole. I don't know how many hours in that day I spent really researching and digging in and finding out and learning things, but oops, that's too crooked. It really got me interested. Now, here's the thing I don't think I've shared before is that, you know, I just occasionally have irregular heart palpitations. We've done the research, I've gone to a cardiologist, I've done all of that stuff. And I've had this also since my 30s. But we've done all of the things and we just can't find a reason for it. The best thing they can tell me is like, so what happens is, and I can't remember the numbers, but I can literally be sitting still and my heart amps up as if I'm running. So they're like, the best thing we can tell you is come in when that occurs again and we'll see what we can find out. But again, the cardiologist couldn't find anything. I did this exam, that exam, they injected this and, you know, used the dyes to see, and sometimes you just can't find it. And I'm having to accept that. I pray real hard when it happens, because I tell you, it feels something like the last days. That's what it feels like. Freeze-dried chives. Y'all got everything but, well, these are the chives I get. So we're just going to dump these little few in here. I'm starting to get frustrated with this whole process. But anyway, what's a big deal about a lack of hormone replacement therapy is that for those of us who already have heart issues, and for many of us who don't, guess what? That lack of hormone replacement, that estrogen and all of that, leads to problems with diabetes, leads to problems with your heart, leads to the #1 killers of women. So even if you're willing to deal with the discomfort, and you know what, y'all, can we talk about that for a second? Why are we so willing to deal with discomfort? Like, has that thought about us being ride or die women been so ingrained that we're like, oh, it's uncomfortable, but I can this, I can, I can tough it out. I just feel like we as women are prone to suffer through the things we need not suffer through. So I am going to set up my appointment ASA to the P to get into this hormone replacement therapy. They have it in different forms, and it's not like what we've heard about before. Whereas before we've heard about, oh, if you get on estrogen, you're likely to get blood clots. According to the research I've read, and remember, Kimberly's a teacher, not a doctor, but according to the research I've read, it's when you take it orally and it has to go through the body and hit the liver that it becomes an issue. So when you're bypassing the liver, such as a patch and things like that, because they have it in a rub, they have it in a patch. I am curious about the patch. I have a girlfriend who did the patch. Where did I just put on? It was a celery. Oh, here it is in my face, cinnamon. I am more so curious about the patch because, again, she had a patch. Now, I will admit I have sensitive skin. My girlfriend also had sensitive skin. She couldn't really tolerate the patch. They also say that when you have the patch, you're not supposed to have like your grandkids. I say grandkids, but some people are perimenopausal. There we go, ground cinnamon. And you're not supposed to have small children, things like that, on your lap while that stuff is, going in and through your system. But I'm definitely going to look into it. Am I suffering? Is it harsh? Is it hard? No. But I mean, you're talking to somebody who, okay, let's talk about what I've suffered through. I had horrible menstrual cramps. I mean, horrible, due to, fibroid tumors and all of that stuff. So I guess I've kind of built up a pain tolerance or a tolerance in general. And I think a lot of us women have, not all of us, some of us have just been blessed with light cycles and things like that. I was not that person. But I bet they got a ground cinnamon and I didn't do it. Yep, they got cinnamon ground, but I don't really care. Ooh, oopsie. A little too much I put in, just a little. Ah, darn it. Excuse me. Pause for this interruption here. So like I was saying, I have gone through horrible menstrual cramps. I'm used to suffering on a monthly basis for way too long. And I think maybe that has helped me build a tolerance, as likely have many women. But let's not normalize that. Let's not continue to suffer through that. I mean, we've done our time basically, right? So let's do that no more. Let's not normalize suffering. Let's go ahead and get our bodies taking care of. Complete seasoning. Promise I never heard of that. But yeah, that whole ride or die thing, suffering through those menstrual cramps. I had reached a point in my, I think it was early 20s. No, I'm sorry, not early 20s, early 30s, where I was like, I am like 99% certain I don't want to have no more kids. I'm just sure of that. And I think I was saying 99% certain because I didn't want to seem so closed off, but I pretty much knew I wasn't anymore. At that point, I'd already had my daughter and I'd had a miscarriage, and it was just like, is this even, not only had I had a miscarriage, but that husband wasn't faithful like he ought to be, And I just thought, well, yeah, I don't really foresee myself trying to have no more children. Anywho, like all of this ain't worth all of that. So I went to my gynecologist, my OBGYN, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm ready to see about having a hysterectomy. Like the suffrage was real and I was real sick of it. And could not get her to sign off on it. Like, nope, you're too young. You may change your mind. Fast forward, a whole nother decade goes by. Now I'm in my 40s. I'm still suffering. And I promise you, I don't want to have kids. Oh, women are having children later every year. Like all the things that they kept saying, basically, they were also saying, and your fibroids, your tumors, and things like that aren't large enough for us to mandate you having this surgery and stuff like that. Combined with your age and the size of your tumors, no, we're not signing off. And honey, by then I had gone to a whole new OBGYN and got the same old results, so I was not happy with that. But finally, I get to was I in my late 40s? I don't even remember exactly what age I was, and I should know that. But I might have been in my it was just a few years ago that I went ahead and had my, had to be. So I finally get my hallelujah surgery, as I call it, and I'm suffering no more. But it just felt like there was this normalization of, those are the breaks. You never know, you might want to want children. Even though they were saying that with the fibroids and stuff, difficulties were coming with the idea of having children. I'm like, this is kind of insane. But sometimes my daughter is like, at that point now, hot curry powder, no, red curry, dill seed. Haven't cooked with dill. I feel like I'm missing a whole lot of stuff. Not everything bagel seasoning. I thought that was a specific name thing, but I actually have some everything bagel. But I tell you what, going back to not knowing that menopause was, this negative connotation type of thing, I had no idea. Because when I was suffering through with all of that, I had friends who were in their 40s and their cycles had stopped. Ooh, you talk about being envious. They had me hoping that I would hit some menopause. Again, I'm not knowing that menopause is supposed to be this horrible thing. To me, it's a relief. It's like, oh, you mean I won't have to deal with cramps and menstrual cycles and all that stuff anymore? Sign me up. I was posted up looking for menopause symptoms. I'm looking to not have to suffer through this no more. Waiting on it. Man, you thought I was standing on the bus stop the way I was looking back and forth. Come on, menopause. So now to hear that it's supposed to be a negative thing and a bad thing, and like to me, it's just a thing. It's just a part of life. I don't see what the big deal is. But I am so over it. There was this comedian one time, and his big insult to some woman was calling her a brown period B. I was like, what? Huh? Hoping, waiting on it, please. Because to me, don't the brown period, I want to say that signal that you were coming to an end to periods. Sign me up for that. I don't know. I feel like there are so many things that we're supposed to feel, a way about, and I don't be feeling that way. But all that said, if you're one of those women, you're kind of suffering through, you're worried about taking medications and stuff, from what I have read, it's the lack of hormone therapy that is more dangerous than actually taking hormone therapy. You can do a lot of healthy things. Eat your good vegetables and, take your herbs. You can do all of that stuff. But again, if you're not sleeping, most of that is pretty much negated. You need sleep, and sleep seems to be a huge symptom. Ground cinnamon, I guess it's got just a couple of sprinkles in it. You can tell when somebody grew up poor, they just can't throw away corners. Like, that's empty. Baby, even I know that's empty. Grown up poor and all. But yeah, that's the message of the day. Go ahead and make sure that you look into the whole menopausal thing, because I know a lot of us are into this. And some of us are younger, so you may have parents, moms, aunts, things like that, who are going through it. I don't have ground ginger. I actually use real ginger. I have heard of grains of paradise, or have I heard of birds of paradise? Is this birds of paradise? What is birds of paradise? Because I don't know grains of paradise. But yeah, please do the research on it, because I know that once I started digging in and getting into it, my mind was changed. Because I was initially thinking, it's not that big a deal. Hot, cold, I've always gotten hot, cold, da 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 da. But okay, so I can actually lift weights. I can actually do healthier things and still not reap the full benefit of it because I'm not sleeping. And that lack of sleep, that lack of hormone, that lack of actually causes or is a great gateway to some of the other problems that occur that are our number one killers. Boom, that's all I needed to know. So yeah, brain fog even. And I'll tell you what, I feel like I won't say that I have been less intelligent or more foggy, but I will say that I've heard myself ask someone to repeat something like, wait, what did you say again? And then I worked through it, and whereas before I was like, Kimberly, you've not been that person before who needed people to repeat. And I was literally just talking to my daughter about that. And I was telling her that that was also a ding dong, hello, wait, that's a change for me. So sometimes we don't see the changes within ourselves. I'm looking to be more snappy and the mood changes, and I'm looking to be, less patient. I've never really been patient, so that's kind of hard to know. But I'm looking for the big umbrella type of symptoms, not realizing that, there may be some smaller symptoms along the way that I'm missing. And those are important. And I want you to ask yourself, are there some smaller ones? Do I need something? Some of y'all are probably way ahead of the game. Fun fact about me, I don't really care for lemon and herb seasoning all that much. Lemongrass don't have mace, it's a seasoning. Speaking of which, okay, back down the rabbit hole. So I was also looking and I saw where, I have pepper spray. What's weird about me is if I go digging and scratching in my head and all that stuff, I just kind of want to touch my hands and a little bit of soap and water again. Oh my goodness. Okay. So another thing, we just had our Red Friday for the Chiefs, right? So at my job, we had tailgating, and I brought some potato chips. One of my friends who used to work at my job doesn't work there. She was one of my, how you have your coworker friends? Okay, so my coworker friend doesn't work there anymore. And it was so funny. You would not have thought she and I would have gotten along. Because before, when we would have tailgates and things like that, she was that person who would just bust me out on stuff. So when we have tailgates and what do you call those, potlucks and all that, I want to be a good sport, and I want to seem kind of gracious, but anybody paying attention to me is going to notice I tend to veer toward prepackaged foods, because I get tired of playing who made this, who brought that, who did whatever. Because sometimes when we were standing in the lines, you would see people talking, oh my gosh, yeah, we had this and that, and we did whatever, and literally picking hair, dog hair, cat hair, literally picking hairs off of their body. And I say that because the hairs would be of a shorter texture, length, all that stuff than the hair on their head. So I'm like, yeah, this is animal hair that they're picking out as they're staying in line to pick out the food. Then they would get to the food, retch their hands right on in that bag of chips, pull it out and put it on a plate. Like what about you could not simply take that bag, give it a 1-2 or something, shake it up, and sprinkle it onto your plate? Why are you No. So anyway, this coworker of mine would bust me out. I'd go in there and I'd open a bag, and time after time, somebody would be like, oh, Kimberly, you don't have to open that. There's already a bag of those chips right there. There's already a bag of those cookies. Oh my goodness, is there? Oh, sure is. Well, since I've already opened it, let me just pour this on out. So this coworker of mine sees me do that enough times, and she's like, yeah, it doesn't matter. She's not going to get those chips because we've been digging our hands in it. When I tell you, I wanted to throw something at her. So oddly enough, she and I ended up being good friends. We still go to wine tastings and all of that. Like, she didn't know me, I didn't know her. And at the time, she just thought that was one of my picky ways. And I can admit, maybe it is one of my picky ways, but I don't feel like I'm the only person, because I've seen other people asking, who brought this? Who got this? I've seen that before, and they say it in a really friendly manner, and it's just, oh, you know, oh, I've been wanting to try your so and so, and then I would watch them, and maybe they did or did not eat that. So, yeah, it's not just me. But anyway, we had our tailgate. I ended up buying some chips, and I bought a couple of bags, and I only put one in the teacher's lounge. No, I put two in the teacher's lounge and kept one to myself to bring in there later, because I'd be doggone if I pay my good little money for these things and y'all done dug our hands in them and I can't even eat them. No. But yeah, that's the crazy part of it. We did our little tailgate and Chiefs lost, unfortunately. And I know there's a lot of hate for the Chiefs. It's so strange. I'm like, yeah, hello? You're talking about a team that prior to Patrick Mahomes, we hadn't won the Super Bowl since like 1969. And this is the team y'all are hating on, talking about we won too much? Okay, I guess. Tom Brady won a few too. I don't remember that much hate, but whatever. All right, I'm gonna finish doing this and we'll just talk some more later, because this is distracting me from whatever I wanted to talk. I know I definitely wanted to talk about the menopause thing, and I'm spilling some, because that is just a big deal to me, and I don't want to know something and not share it. And if y'all know something else as well, please do share with me as well. But as I said, for now, I'm gonna just get on back to this and we'll talk some more in just a bit.
Is this a dream?